Bays set out to show they weren't going to give anything away and continue with their winning spree of goals. Glenelg kicked with precision and played direct and long.
Back to McTavish, chance on the...
As in past weeks, the whole side performed for the Tigers, but dashing Hodgman was a strong contributor with his 7 goals.
And Hodgie's got it.
Peter Carey led his side to perfection, particularly in the first half, and Maynard was also amongst the Bays' best with Max Cruz. And Glenelg led easily by 15 goals at three-quarter time. The Warriors didn't have any answer to the Glenelg onslaught, although Taylor tried all day with plenty of kicks and Nichols, who managed 7 goals for the day. But the Bays were just too good and steamrolled home to win by 74 points. At the Richmond...
But now he's clear. Delightful kick with both feet. He's put it again. Have you ever seen anything like that in your born days? Oh, I said he might change this game about, and
that's... Through the half-forward line go the Bays. On the lead is Seabohm. Can't quite get there, but gets the sit. On the left leg, shoots for the woodwork. And he's put it right across. Oh, what's that? That's a goal! An unbelievable...
And they need the gigantic banner said it all. The Warriors opened on a winning note, but Coach Blight was forced into a number of changes as the Tigers clawed their way back to a 13-points lead at quarter time.
Oh, it's his birthday.
Woodville settled down in the second term and a brilliant burst saw the scores level, but it was a short-lived recovery. Peter Maynard was best on ground with his magnificent play as a loose man. Glenelg didn't have a passenger. The whole side played their heart out to steamroll the Warriors after half-time. Murphy and Stringer were strong in defence, but the Tigers played as a premiership unit. Tony Hall was more than useful in the forward line with his strong marking as the Tigers cruised to a massive 102 points win. A doubt now remains over the possible retirements of veteran Woodville players Ralph Sewer and Max Parker, while coach Malcolm Blight announced his retirement following the... They now meet Hawthorn in the preliminary...
On the toss and kicked with the breeze during a tight first quarter. The Bays kicked the first goal, but the Magpies grabbed the lead and at the first break were 12 points in front. The second half was even with Tony Hall playing his best for Glenelg and managed goals from impossible positions. Just 30 seconds later, Marshall put the Bays in front. Port Adelaide weren't going to lie down in the cutthroat final and carried the ball well from the centre through Anderson, and a magnificent game from Bruce Abernethy. Port's teamwork was slick and goals like Ginniver's was the result. By three-quarter time, just 4 points separated the two sides in Port Adelaide's favour, whose kicking had let them down with 8:17 at the break. The last quarter started in Glenelg's favour, and at one stage the Tigers were 18 points in front. But the Magpies fought back and whittled Glenelg's lead down to 3 points at the 20-minute mark. Time ran away for Port Adelaide, though, and the Bays clung on to their lead with both sides playing desperate football. The final siren beat the Magpies, and Glenelg won their way into next Sunday's preliminary final by just 2 points. Coach Graham Corns didn't get carried away with the win.
Oh, well, you won a close one, and it's a knockout final, so you've got to be delighted. But it was, I just think it was a great game of football.
For Russell Ebert, there weren't any excuses.
And it's not as if we're sort of under snapping pressure or physical pressure. It's just missed goals, and that's, well, as I said last week.
The Stakes have been promoted as the weight for age race.
Was the opening one when they kicked the first goal from Ducker. It took the Bays 24 minutes before they scored their first goal, which came from Tony Hall, who was magnificent in the air and on the ground. Rowe was Norwood's best player and was instrumental in a number of goals to give the Redlegs the edge in the first term to lead by 18 points. The second quarter was a different story, with the Norwood forward line in complete disarray to allow the Bays to draw nearer, and even Seabohm was able to take one-handed marks. The third quarter looked like Glenelg would run away with the game by kicking 3 goals in 4 minutes and hit the front by 30 points with Norwood lacking in legs. But then it was Norwood's turn to kick 3 goals in as many minutes, and the game came alive again. With only 10 points separating the two sides at three-quarter time and Glenelg leading, it was desperate football in the final quarter. The Bays took the initiative and ran away from the Redlegs with play set up from Marshall and McDermott and Glenelg's best on ground, Murphy. And a barrage of goals followed through Hall and Seabohm. Glenelg went on to win their way into next Saturday's grand final by 46 points to meet North Adelaide for the 3rd successive year.
Forwards and